So I'm here to tell everybody that at first you feel like life can't go on, it will never be the same. And there is definitely life after loss in this physical world. But what I have discovered that I never knew before when I was in the military, there is life after death without a doubt. And knowing that is life changing. Susan's death catapulted me into a search for answers, for the meaning of life, the greater, deeper questions that we all ask. And I found them in ways that I never imagined. And today, my greatest desire is for others to find those deep life answers without having to go through a personal tragedy first. But what I've discovered is that what we consider a tragedy is often our greatest opportunity for growth. And that family tragedy that I wouldn't wish on anyone has resulted in joy and bliss beyond my imagining. And that's possible because I also know that Susan is not dead and gone. She's still with us and we can talk to her. So that makes all the difference in the world. What makes all the difference in the world is knowing that this is not the only world. So find out about that other world. Give yourself permission to believe outside of the box that you may be in, which begins with examining what your belief system is about a greater reality. And then start researching. It is scientifically proven that reading stories of others' experiences opens you up to greater experiences.
One of the things I wanted to ask you is about suffering, the suffering that we experience in grief or even in life, any kind of suffering we go through. Is it a choice, the suffering that we go through?
This is so interesting because this is where I want everybody to start learning to choose your point of view. We are so used to seeing only from our human perspective, which is very limited, and don't realize we can literally change a channel in our awareness by shifting to the soul's point of view. You can get to know what that is through meditation. The soul chose to come here and have a human experience, knowing that includes suffering. So I'll just give you my most recent example. When I've had two of my beloved puppies pass across the veil, they were full-grown dogs. They're always puppies to me. Knowing what I know about the afterlife, I know that even our pets survive. Yet I knew they would be fine, but I would still grieve because it is a loss of daily interaction at the physical level. So that kind of suffering, to say that that's a choice, is not correct. We can't control that grief. We need to feel it. It's part of the process. But when you understand that they are still here, that grief is much more short-lived. Knowing at a soul level, the soul doesn't suffer. The soul experiences the contrast and somehow grows from that. It gives us a bit of relief, but please don't feel that we have to shove down the grief because we're going to choose not to feel it. That's actually going to cause blockages in you that will limit your connection across the veil. So feel it all, but don't wallow in it. That's really important.
You talk sometimes about the greatest gifts we can offer our loved ones who are no longer here living with us. We just tapped on one. What are the other things that we can do to honor their lives, I suppose?
By all means, acknowledge that they still exist and talk to them. They are trying to get our attention quite often, and they know we can't see or sense them many times. They understand that. But how wonderful is it if we make them part of our lives still and talk to them when we're riding in the car or anytime? You don't have to talk out loud. So acknowledge that they're still here. And then instead of asking why they had to pass, say, what can I do to honor their presence in this world? How can I bring more love into this world because they were in it? Trust me, they know about all our efforts. When I give readings, those in spirit will show me they have a scholarship in my honor. They started a foundation in my honor. They put a plaque up on the wall in my honor. Those kinds of things they know about. Big things, little things, it doesn't matter. And then remember that they're aware of your thoughts. So if you have something that you didn't get to say, don't carry around a stone on your chest thinking, I should have said this, I should have done that. Say it now. They will hear you. Give your apologies. Say your thank yous. They will be received. There's so many other tips that I could give, but it all comes down to the fact that they are still part of your life. They see little things in your life. They're at the big celebrations, the anniversaries, the weddings, the births, the graduations. They don't miss them. They're at their own funerals. So once we understand this, and like I said, move forward with them, that makes them happy. I do want to make a very clear point that they don't suffer when we cry. They're aware of it. They understand why we grieve. So don't feel bad about grieving, but don't, like I said, don't wallow in it forever, because if you could hear what I hear, you would hear them saying, come on, I'm right here. Smile for me.
Wow. This is such an important message for people. And you know, when I had this, I was so excited when I had the opportunity to talk to you. I didn't think we would be talking really about grief or grief and loss, but when we're looking at simple, sustainable strategies to help people get through their days and sort of to unclutter their minds, because that's who we're talking to in this Unwind Your Mind retreat. Often a lot of the baggage or the extra energy that we keep that holds us back is that energy of the suffering of the people we've lost.
And you remind me of one of the simplest techniques to help us get centered and remember who we are as souls right away. And that's just noticing that when we're suffering, when we're thinking too much, we really stop breathing and we breathe very shallowly. So I teach many people this method of breathing in for about 4 counts, 4 or 5 counts, and exhaling for 5 or 6. Completely exhaling to empty the lungs so that the rib cage presses on the vagus nerve that runs down from the brainstem through the torso. When you put that pressure on the vagus nerve, your body automatically goes into the relaxation response. It feels so good. Just one slow, deep breath and you're centered again. So why not try 2 or 3? I find if I'm reading a book and I'm really into it, I don't even realize that I'm not breathing deeply. And next thing you know, I want to run to the refrigerator and grab a cookie or something. That's because stress is building up. One slow, deep breath. I'm calm again. The craving has gone away. If you're in grief, you'll be back in your center again, and perhaps the grief will at least not be so deep for a while. And in that centered state, you can receive insights from your guides, from the angels, from those across the veil. Can't hear those, can't see images they put in your mind when you're stressed.
With lots of love, I'll say bye for now.